All right, guys, I think we're live. Hey, guys, Ramsey here. Welcome to another stream. We've got a special guest, Jonathan. Welcome. Good to have you, sir. You're like a celebrity making the YouTube rounds. Eugene's channel yesterday, mine today. How are you?
Uh, I'm doing great, man. How are you?
It's good to have you on here. I know we've been talking
Yeah,
about this forever.
for a long time, right? I'm glad we finally got it together.
Yep, feels like it's a must. So
Yeah.
I heard you talking on Eugene's channel yesterday about kind of wanting to do a channel and then going back and forth. I will tell you that it almost people kind of had to convince me even because the way I always saw fragrances was like it's something for me. You know what I mean? Like it's
Right.
mine. Like
Right.
it's mine. And I
Right.
and I always wanted to kind of like hold on to that. You know what I mean? Like it was something
Yeah.
I had, I enjoyed, and damned if the people around me liked it or not. But then what ended up happening is like I started to do these videos and I found out that I even enjoyed it more than I thought I would. Like it added an extra dimension,
Yeah.
to enjoying the fragrances. So
Yeah.
I was hoping to kind of just have you on and kick the shit and,
Yeah,
talk about
man.
some of these fragrances we love. You and I love the old stuff. So that was
Yeah,
kind of
man. Yeah, this is nice. I'm glad we're doing this, and I feel the same way. Like I kind of like having the hobby to myself, but it's a good little community we got here. So I'm kind of warming to the idea of branching out, and and being in the middle of groups like with Rich Mitch and Airman Duncan and you and a few others. It's kind of nice how it's been organically growing out. So and people keep calling for a collection video. So I've slowly, piece by piece, gotten the mic and the lighting and kind of rearranged my setup here, and I'm getting there. Probably sometime this week, I'll drop probably a really janky looking video.
doesn't
And
matter. Yeah,
yeah,
it doesn't
just
matter.
yeah. As
Talk
long
about
as I
whatever you want
sound
to talk
good,
about.
I'll get a camera someday that doesn't make me look like I'm sitting in a room being interrogated. But we'll
Dude,
get there.
I do this on my phone. I don't even have a mic. You're ahead of me.
Nice. You sound pretty good for being on your phone.
Yeah, that's funny. It's probably because I'm like right up on it. But so what have you been wearing lately? What's been intriguing you?
Well, man, I'm all over the place. I've gotten a bunch of recent hauls this past couple of weeks. Plus, I've got, like I said, everything that I have on my desk is stuff that I've gotten over the last few months that I kind of cycle through and I'm getting to know and learning, and then I cycle it back into the regular collection. So, like today, I don't know if we're going to do this now, but stuff I've been wearing, I've really been loving this. This is, I don't know if you can see this,
Yeah, let me
but
blow you up.
Nina
Yeah,
Charita.
Rudy. That's a good one.
Yeah, and Anuj was kind enough to give this to me. The atomizer needed a little help, so he had this partial, and I just really wanted to get my nose on it to see if it's worth going after a full bottle. And I got to tell you, I love it. It's really good. It's really really good.
I
You have it. You have
I
it, no?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do, and I got it from a news too, dude. It's impossible to find.
It's impossible to find for less than 250.
Yeah. And this is actually one interesting fact is I always talk about how much I trust Chris from Scentland's nose, and he did a video once where if he could wear one fragrance for the rest of his life, and he picked this.
I've seen that video, and it's been on my mind ever since I seen it.
How about
But
that for a
I've
compliment?
never seen the bottle out in the wild until
No,
recently.
no, never. And mine's the same. There's no cap. It's just this janky, but I don't care because I wanted the
I
juice. You
don't.
know what I mean?
If I had to bust the neck off of this to get the juice out of it, I would have. I don't
Just
care.
break it.
What do you? Let me ask you. What do you get from that? This last couple of days, for some reason, it's got a great note breakdown. Artemisia and mint, and it's got a booziness to it. But for some reason, just today, I started to feel like I got a banana accord. Am I crazy?
Let me spray it. Dude, it's been a while since I wore this. You know when I like to wear this is summer.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's well, I think it's airy enough and light enough for it.
Yeah, I think it is too. Man, it's
once it hits the mid, for some reason, that combination of notes is giving me a banana chord. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know.
I know what you mean. I think it's probably
Maybe it's the
a
mint playing
strange
off of something.
mixture. Yeah, it's like, because this has like I know there's a bunch of green notes in there. Let me see if I can find
Artemisia,
it. So there's lemon, juniper, galbanum, mint, stone pine,
galbanum.
thyme, jasmine, carnation, amber, benzoin, moss, musk, fir, and cedar. So I think,
It's just a confluence of notes there.
yeah, but because of that minty opening and all that stuff, and what's crazy about it is, okay, so here's the fragrance that everyone used to kind of rave about is Givenchy's Ensancé. Do you own that?
Yeah, of course.
Do you like it?
I do. I didn't like it initially, but it's grown on me.
Because I'm kind of torn on it. I can't decide if I like it or not, but I think this is like a better version of Ensancé.
Yo, it's better for sure.
Yeah,
Better for sure. But yeah, they're. I never really noticed the difference until you just mentioned it. I mean,
there's this
the similarities.
weird floral thing with both of them. They're both like floral masculines, if you will. You know what I mean?
The only thing that this doesn't have, or this has that the Cerruti doesn't have, is that odd, what is it, rhubarb or what's the note in there? It's, I don't know,
Yeah,
berries or plum or something at the
there's a
top
weird
there.
one. There's
It's
definitely,
it's a
yeah.
note that you wouldn't expect to be there. I don't know if it's berries or
Let's
rhubarb
see,
or
which
something.
one is it? It's let me see if I can find it without taking forever.
Have you tried the ultramarine? Is that
No,
worth going after?
no, I'm it's not my thing.
Yeah. I've got a thing for flankers. It's the only reason. Like, a lot of this stuff I have is because of the love of the fragrance, but there's a big section of my collection that's for the collector in me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the
Like
collector. Yeah.
the odd flanker, the rarely spoken of, discontinued.
So Ensancé has a blackcurrant note.
Blackcurrant, that's it.
Which it's not. There's no blackcurrant in Nino Cerruti Pour Homme, but honestly, there's that freshness from juniper. That's why I like to wear it in like the warmer weather. But what's
Yeah.
interesting about this is there is a base. There's like a 70s, like, oak mossy, like musky 70s animalic masculine dude underneath, but it's floral and green on top. It's crazy.
Right. And I think, oddly, for the Nino Cerruti, I feel like all of those notes and herbs at the top lift the bottom up and make it less dense.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's not a seriously dense base, and I think that's because of the top and the mid.
Yeah.
But I've been bowled over by it for the last couple of days.
It's good, right? Spicy and woody and floral, and like, I know Rich Mitch doesn't like jasmine, but dude, the jasmine in this Nino Cerruti Pour Homme is badass. I mean, it could compete with the jasmine in like Alain Delon Iquitos.
Yeah, that, and there's another one. Love Iquitos. Love me some Iquitos. So
what?
I don't know.
I heard you kind of give like an intro yesterday on Eugene's channel before. I mean, most people probably know you, but what drew you to fragrances? Because for me, it was like, I'm on the phone all day talking to clients. Like, sometimes I'm by myself working from home. Sometimes I'm like, in a pit with a bunch of guys at work or whatever. But a lot of it's just like me on the phone talking. You know what I mean? I needed something to occupy my mind, and fragrances were that. What kind of drew you to the fragrance game?
Well, I mean, I was given fragrances as a kid, for Christmas and my birthday. And so I've always, and Polo being one of the first, along with, Corum and others like that. And I've always had fragrances, but not to this degree. And when I stopped working, I stopped working to go after my benefits for my disability for being blind, and I needed a hobby. I don't know how it started. I bought one fragrance, then I bought another fragrance, and then I started looking up fragrances, and then of course I hit YouTube like everybody else does, and Steven and Robes and Ashton, and I realized it was a thing, and I started to get interested in what else there was besides the rack store stuff, and I got Santel Royale, and the rest is history.
That's it. It's a whole nother world out there, right?
And it, like I said, part of what I'm doing is I like being a collector. Like my dad and my mom have always been collectors. My dad collects everything from knives and belt buckles and model cars and trains to cameras and coins and you name it. My mom collects everything from Hummels to precious moments and elephants. So I've always collected comic books, baseball cards, coins, paper money, you name it. And so I needed a hobby. I was like, let me start collecting something. And at that point I had 5, 6, 8, 10 fragrances. And I was like, why don't we just go for this? Why not? Just went down a rabbit hole, and that's it. Here we are, like hundreds of bottles later.
I think it's one of the finest hobbies that a person can have, because it stimulates your brain, your nose, it's kind of like it's like art in a bottle if you really find fragrances you appreciate. And
it's experiential.
Exactly. Yeah, it really, it's like your whole, wearing a fragrance can change your entire day. I mean, like yesterday I wore that Kinski that I got, which, by the way, I know you said you're going to
talk to me about that.
Dude, it's amazing.
Is it?
I had to go back and put it into the Castorium video in the comments, just because it needed to be there. You know what I mean? Like, it missed it by one day.
It's strange, you said, huh?
But it's crazy good. It's like cannabis and Castorium and vetiver is basically the gist of it. I think it's probably Giza Schoen's best fragrance for someone like us. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I'm a purveyor of the strange and obscure and weird, and if it's challenging, I want a piece of it.
Yeah, that's me. So I think we would really enjoy it. It's just so hard to find.
Yeah, well, we'll get it one of these days. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I can send you a decant too, because I got 100 mils. So
one of these days we'll trade some decants. I think there's a couple of things here that I think you'd want to try that I have.
And that's the other thing about the community, is there's so many things that I've basically stumbled across or have had the privilege of smelling that I never would have otherwise. Like even today, my scent of the day is Valentino's Vendetta pour Homme. Do you know this one?
Love it.
So Vendetta was actually given to me by Justin, one of my subscribers. And he found this shop around the corner from him where he lives, where they were selling these vintage fragrances for so cheap. I mean, like, he said he got this for like $10 or something. I'm like, dude, this is like going for hundreds on eBay. He's like, I'll just get you a bottle. I'm like, please do. But Manly Scents actually wrote a review on Parfumo, and I think he compared it to Halston Z14. Really? Yeah.
I don't know if I get Halston from it. You know what I get from it? It's, man, I should have made some like scent strips. What I get from it is, this might sound strange, but it kind of gets me in the ballpark of Pavarotti. Is that weird?
Really? I never got Pavarotti.
Yeah, I don't know why, but kind of puts me in the ballpark of Pavarotti.
But Pavarotti, the shapeshifter, man. Many times I wore Pavarotti and I never got the leather. And then the last couple of times I've worn it, it's like leather dry down galore. You know what I mean? So Pavarotti's a complex fragrance.
Yeah, love Pavarotti.
It's all over the place.
Yeah, that's got to be one of Rich's best recommendations for me.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the best patchoulis. I can't believe that was like a celebrity fragrance.
You know what? Let me tell you, I don't dismiss celebrity fragrances ever, because some of the best celebrity fragrances, some celebrity fragrances are the best fragrances I've come across.
It's crazy.
Yeah, there's one, this little one. I have 2 bottles of this, and this is called Boyfriend by Kate Walsh.
Never heard of it. Let me blow you up.
Yeah, it's called Boyfriend by Kate Walsh. I don't know.
Never even seen it.
And it's not unlike. Let me see if I can find it. Maybe I've got it packed away. It's not unlike Stash by Sarah Jessica Parker, which is another banger.
That's
it's
a good point.
An amber. Yeah, Sarah Jessica Parker Stash. If you ever come across it and they're dirt cheap, don't pass it up. It's a great fragrance.
Yeah, it's crazy. And that's discontinued, isn't it?
The Stash?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's why I went and grabbed a bottle. It's definitely worth it. She put out a bunch of other fragrances, but from what I understand, the Stash was the only thing that she really had a hand in creating.
Oh wow, the good one she had a hand in creating. Interesting.
Right. She's a frag head, from what I understand. So it's really kind of cool to think that. Yeah, I would have never thought.
No.
There's probably a lot of frag heads out there that you would never think.
Yeah. Well, for the longest time, I never commented, or I would watch videos and stuff, but just in the background. I told you, I still don't even have a Facebook.
Yeah, that's crazy that you don't have a Facebook. But you know what? Good for you. Every time I think about it, I want to shut my page down. I don't like the intrusiveness of it.
Yeah.
You really do have to give away a lot to be on that Facebook.
Yeah. And it's, and everyone I talk to is always like, oh, I like it because of the pictures. And I'm like, whatever. I don't need pictures that bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I kind of moved over to Instagram. I kind of like the artistic, taking the pictures, cool pictures of the bottles. It gives me something to do.
Yeah.
Kind of a little side thing to the collecting.
Have you been posting on there?
Yeah, I've got like 130 or 140 pictures up.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Something to do. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna show off some recent hauls. What have you been getting? What's your latest, or did you show it off in the last video?
Yeah, the latest was the long lost haul from Rich.
It's outrageous.
This came in it, and I did wear it to bed. This old Coke bottle Shalimar. I love you, Rich. I'm glad you don't like Shalimar, because damn, this is good.
Yeah, I'm a Mitsuko guy.
I love it all.
Yeah, Shalimar is good, and I can appreciate it. It's just not like, Mitsuko scratches the itch better than Shalimar for me.
Do you like the old stories, the old Guerlain stories?
Of?
Like the one with Shalimar, it was the story of the Taj Mahal and how he fell in love with his wife, how they kind of always made this backstory to the fragrance. Mitsuko has one too. It's like
Mitsuko has one too.
In love, with the general.
Mitsuko is kind of a what's the word? Like kind of a controversial story, isn't it?
Yep.
It's kind of like risque, or what's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, because she was married, right? And she fell in love with the Japanese. Yeah.
So she was cheating on her dude.
Yep, I think so. But yeah, I love all the old Guerlains, man. I pulled out some just some random vintages. I figured the guys and gals who watch have heard me, just blab about these forever. We'd kind of get your thoughts on a couple of them, like
yeah. Sure.
Game show style. I'll just whip them out. You'll tell us what we think. How about that? That'll be a fun game.
You do that, and then after I've got kind of my recent hauls like in arm's length, so maybe we'll do that after.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Whenever you move, people can kind of see your background. It's kind of a cool setup. You want to show them what you did?
That's the main collection right there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves, and then there's another 3 shelves over there.
Nice.
And then over here, this little side stand has like all of my like samples and decants, and then of course all the boxes of latest hauls and things like that. And then like I said, I can't pick up this laptop. It's like immersed in a bunch of stuff. But all over the top of this shelf of my desk is all decants and ouds and atars and, you know, small niche bottles. And then I have a side table next to my desk that has recent hauls and kind of stuff I'm still cycling through, getting to know, you know. So
how long have you been in the frag game now, if you will? How long have you been diving into it?
Kind of seriously the last 3 or 4 years, but maybe, you know, casually maybe 5 or 10 years before that.
Okay.
But not to this degree. This happened like after I stopped working like 3 years ago, and then it just progressively like just, you know, went to outer space. You know, I've literally lost count. Sorry.
Yeah. Is there a difference between Jonathan, you know, from a couple of years ago and now? What would you say the biggest thing you've learned after all this like exploration into these different fragrances is?
What have I learned? I don't know. It's I'll tell you what it's helped me do. It's helped me kind of reignite or I used to be really artistic when I was younger. I used to be super artistic. My sister and I were put into art schools, and she actually went to the Art Institute of Philadelphia. And, you know, I've always been really artistic, and then kind of as you grow older and you work and, you know, you kind of get away from hobbies and you get away from artistic endeavors. This past couple of years getting into fragrance has kind of, you know, reawakened that artistic kind of that artistic flair inside of me. So fragrances have kind of, and that's what with Instagram, taking photos of, you know, getting back into, you know, photo art, and I've started to draw again, and, you know, and now of course, you know, I'm thinking, man, I wouldn't mind having a perfumer's set, you know, something to play around with some materials and see where that goes. So what has it done for me? It's shot me off into an artistic endeavor that if I were still working, I wouldn't have time for.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool.
Yeah. It's good to hear. You know, I'm getting to the real, like, I remember the very first interview that I did with Russian Adam. He was like, he asked me a question. He said, when is enough enough, right? Like, as a collector, when do you get to the point where you're like, okay, I think I've had enough? And I think there's a difference between, like, as a fragrance enthusiast, getting to smell something like Shalimar or Mitsuko, like some of the most classic, most important, you know, hallmark, Hall of Fame fragrances there are, right? And having to smell every single new fragrance that comes out and sift through it and determine if it's good or crap. You know what I mean? Because you could do that. You could wear a new fragrance every day for the rest of your life, and you wouldn't even scratch the surface of all the crap they're putting out nowadays.
Kidding.
You know what I mean?
No kidding. They're coming out with thousands of fragrances a year.
Yep.
Thousands.
Yeah, it's impossible for anyone to smell everything. So I think as a like fragrance enthusiast, it's kind of taught me, as I've smelled more and more and more, and even stuff that I never would have purchased, people sent me samples of, and I've got to do all this sniffing. It's really taught me to kind of hone in on what I like. And I am honestly most happy on the days where I just wear stuff that I love. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
my favorite, like, because I'll go sometimes weeks or months without wearing any of my all-time favorites. And then I have to almost bring myself back down to earth. I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I not wearing Koros or, you know,
Right.
Bellamy or
Right.
Antaeus? Why am I testing all this crap that I'm just like lukewarm on? And then I go back to it and I'm like, this is it. This is what I love about this hobby. You know what I mean? Like it grounds me.
I think the further into this that I've gotten, the more I turn back to vintages. You
Yeah.
know, there's little that surprises me now. Like any, you know, I'd say the last 5 years has to be pretty special to surprise me. It seems like everything's the same. Now you can make that same argument for stuff at the 80s and stuff in the 70s and stuff in the 90s even. They all had that same vibe, I guess. But I don't know. I feel like there was bigger differential the further back you go. Like pre 99, even pre 95 is where, you know, I start to go back to. There's nothing new now. It seems like everything's just mass appealing, bland, blase, no chances taken. You have to go into the niche or the indie realm to find something exploratory or, you know, attention catching. You know, nothing major from the major houses are surprising me or making me go, wow, you know.
No, that's not. No, they're in it for the money, and the problem is, you know, the money will come if you do something amazing and spectacular. But if the
Right.
only reason that these houses are in it for money, they'll never make anything, you know, worth a shit. They'll just keep pumping out the same crap with the same oils, you know, the same captive molecules that make the perfumers money, and it's kind of a vicious cycle that they're in. And I don't think they really know how to get out of it. I mean, I talked about a fragrance last night just that I've never worn. I had a couple drops of it. Was like Armani Eau de Nuit Oud, and it smelled like the 1,000th oud fragrance, like with the fake Nord-Limbinol, like, you know, everything we've smelled a million times over. I mean, I like that style, but at some point it's like, okay, how many times are
Yeah,
you gonna
no,
roll your eyes and make the same fragrance? Like, you know, it
yeah,
allows them to charge triple because the word oud is on there. But I
yeah.
outside of spending thousands on niche and, you know, indie and stuff, it would be great to see some of these great houses. And they used to be great houses like YSL, and, you know, YSL has just turned into a complete dumpster fire. And
Yeah,
it's just,
no
you know, they
kidding.
used to be one of the best in the entire world. Like, I mean, I wish some of these houses had a little pride, like, and they could segment trying to make great fragrances from trying to sell bottles, but it doesn't seem like they can. It doesn't seem like they can do both. You know what I mean? Like they're not
Yeah.
able to.
And every major house had killers. Gucci had killers. You know, YSL had killers. Um, even Armani and some of the smaller houses, Calvin Klein and you know, some of the Bogart and the houses were different and had, you know, their heavyweights, but nowadays it doesn't seem like there are any heavyweights out there. You know,
No.
look at that line that Guerlain just came out with.
Oh, it's shit.
Golly, can you get more redundant?
Have you
You know,
smelled them all?
I haven't smelled any of them, and I'm not sure that I care to.
No, don't bother. I smelled that oud coal, and it was
I
terrible.
have Oud Essential. What else do I need?
I mean, you don't even need that.
You know, like I have. There are a few Guerlains still on my list, but they're older. There's nothing new that Guerlain put out
Yes.
that I want. You
Yeah.
know, of the newest stuff that I have from Guerlain, I have most of the Orient line. I have the Ideal Extreme and L'Entente. Those are two better ones that I like from that line. But other than that, Guerlain, I have to go backwards to find stuff I like. You know,
Yep.
like like Derby and you know that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
Ball de Nuit, and I mean all the classics, even
yeah,
Jicky and Mouchoir de Monsieur. I wear that stuff. I love that stuff. Even Samsara. I mean, even
yeah, I
Sh-
can appreciate some sorry.
yeah. I mean, even some of the
That's
women, like,
sandalwood.
it's beautiful.
Yeah, I've been getting into sandalwood recently, and man, ever since I got that vintage Ego East, not that that's the benchmark for sandalwood, but it kind of,
Could
I don't know,
be.
kind of sparked a sandalwood run for me.
Are there, do you like collect by perfumer or like brand or ingredient, or do you just kind of scattershot and go everywhere?
Um, I go everywhere, but I do get off on tangents. Like this past year, I've been going after perfumers. I've been I've been honing in on particular perfumers that I really like Antoine Lee.
Yeah.
I have a number of his fragrances. I didn't realize it, but I seem to be drawn to his work. Um, I've got a number of his things I like. You mentioned Guy Schoen. Um, I like Bertrand Duchefort.
Oh, the
I don't know how
magician.
you can't. Yeah, and have you ever smelled some of the stuff he did for Neil Vermeer?
Yes, I have Ashoka, and I'm going to talk about it on the channel very soon, but I've
Oh
never
my
smelled anything else.
God, dude, Trey, Ashoka, they're just uh, they're just on a whole nother plane. What he did with that house.
But speaking of like diving into, fragrances, since no one talks about that, I mean, literally no, maybe I heard Persolays talk about Ashoka once or twice, but no one talks about Ashoka. So unless you
Nobody
get your
talks about
nose on it and try it yourself, you're never going to figure out
it. And they're
if it is that good. You know what I mean? That's the
and
downfall of this is it's very hard to find people that you can trust. Because I
yeah,
would love it if someone would be like, Ramsey, go try Ashoka. You know what I mean? I'd be like, yes,
yeah,
absolutely, I'm going. But there's very
right,
few people like that out there.
yeah. Well, that's why I like this little crop of people that I've kind of gotten to be friends with over the last couple of years. That kind of, if we don't share the same taste, I at least respect their nose, and I at
Yeah.
least respect their take on things. So that helps me go in the right direction. But yeah, there's sometimes I'll follow what you guys are doing, Rich and you and Duncan and Aram and some of the other guys. I'll follow what they're getting into. Duncan rarely leads me astray. Rich rarely leads me astray. Um, but then sometimes I'll just get off into, like, my thing over the last year has been flankers, like rare and ridiculous flankers that nobody's ever heard of. I don't know why that appeals to me, but everybody's got something, but how many people have this? You,
I,
you
I
do,
was
but
actually, I was
you do,
actually going
but
to talk to you about that.
yeah, you do, but how many people besides you, me, Rich, and Duncan have it? And
It is very good.
yeah, it's something, man. It is something.
By the way, I wanted to ask you this. So we'll just start with this since we're talking about it. The regular Antaeus versus the Sport Cologne, okay?
All right,
Someone left me a comment.
I
That's
have the
it.
regular,
All right, you have the regular and the Sport Cologne.
and
So
I have the sport.
someone left me a comment saying, Ramsey, you're mistaken. There's no myrrh in Antaeus. And I was like, what? Absolutely, there's myrrh in Antaeus. Do you think there's myrrh in Antaeus?
Yeah, in the
Sure, right?
modern or the sport cologne.
No, the regular Antaeus.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I thought so
I think
too.
so. I,
Um,
is it not listed?
no, it's listed. He said that all of the sites made a mistake, that it was supposed to be myrtle and not myrrh. And I was like, I don't know where you got that, but I don't think
Myrtle?
that sounds right to me.
I don't
Um,
know that I don't know that I'm expert enough to dispute that there's myrtle, but there's certainly myrrh.
I thought so. Now, do you think this sport cologne is like Antaeus, like minus the myrrh? Because it really seems like to me you can just peer straight into the castoreum on this sport cologne. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know how they named it sport cologne. That doesn't make any sense.
It's the best sport fragrance of all time.
Sport cologne. Would you wear this? Well, you know what? I would wear this to the gym. I would wear this to the gym.
Absolutely.
I probably wouldn't go heavy on the atomizer, but it's Duncan has sent me. Duncan has an amazing collection of Antaeus, and he's got like every year for the first 10 years or something to that effect. And he sent me a number of those early vintages. Plus, I have the modern, and of all of them, this Sport Cologne trumps all, in my opinion.
You like the Sport Cologne better than the original?
Yeah, but yeah, hands down.
I can't blame you.
It's just something. It seems perfect.
And you know what's crazy?
But the modern's very good.
In 1 year.
You go figure that out.
Dude, what a misstep. That might have been.
Maybe it's the myrtle that they couldn't source.
Yeah, man. This is well, I sent it. Did you see that video Eugene did where he tried some of the fragrances I sent him?
Yeah.
Did you see his face light up when he smelled Antaeus Sport Cologne?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, can't help but recognize its greatness.
Dude, it is. They this and wasting $50 million on Ego East when, you know, the market wasn't ready for it are probably Jacques Polge's two biggest missteps, but I'm glad that we have Ego East. Thank God he moved forward with it.
Tell me why this was a flop. Tell me why this was a flop. You explain this to me. Why was this a flop? This is 100 times better than Platinum Ego East, without exaggeration.
1,000.
But there's so many people out there that go, "Oh, Platinum Ego East is so good. It's, you know, Ego East is shit, and I'm glad they came out with the Platinum Ego East." Are you out of your mind?
Yes, they are.
You gotta be kidding me, man.
I mean, even the modern is amazing. You don't even have to go vintage with Ego East. I mean, the vintage is awesome.
I don't have the modern, believe it or not.
You don't have the modern?
I have a modern Platinum Ego East, which I bought accidentally. I was in I was on vacation, or I don't know where I was, and I was in a Chanel counter or boutique or whatever, and I bought what I thought was the Ego East. I called for it. The SA threw it in the bag, and I took it home. I got it home, and I realized it was Platinum Ego East. Now I couldn't have been more disappointed. Swear to God.
Man, this Nino Cerruti Pour Homme is opening up beautifully on the paper.
The dry down's amazing. Every stage of it is fantastic. I'm gonna have to, even though it's pretty pricey, I'm gonna have to go after a full bottle.
How much do you have? Just like a partial?
I've got this partial. What is this? 100 mil. I've got like 60 mil, maybe.
Yeah, dude, you've got about the same as much as I do. I think we've got enough to last us because I'd only wear this in a week.
Yeah, it'll last for a good long time. Someday down the road, if I can, maybe I'll part with one of my my backup stash. See somebody's. I have a couple of nice gems that I have sealed, just in case down the road. I don't want to part with the cash, but I have the backup, and it's a nice swap. I'll do that. Yeah, I'm waiting for you to flash something that I really want, and then I'll hit you with one of my backups and see what you say.
That's it.
I know you don't have that Tom Ford Extreme.
I do not. You're right. I don't. I do the regular.
I've got a sealed backup.
That's it. Is it that good? Thanks for the super chat, by the way, Floral Notes. I can't do the amazing voice. I can't do the thank you for the super chat that some people do, but I do appreciate it. Thank you. Even though you guys don't have to do that. Yes. What's it like? I've never smelled it.
It's fantastic. It's nothing like Tom Ford for Men, which I thought it was, but it's dark. It's a little bit of dried fruits. It's got a little booziness, but it's not so heavy. It's got a little freshness to it. It's just perfect. It's one of Tom Ford's best, and of course discontinued.
Of course. Who was the perfumer? Pierre Nagrin? Really?
Yeah. I have Tom Ford for Men, which I love.
Claude Durr and Pierre Negrin made that.
It's not surprising. Claude Durr does some good work.
Yeah, he did. What's his name? Zaharoff's, right?
He did all of George's stuff.
Yeah.
I have most of George's stuff up there.
Really, I have a sample of his signature, but I don't own any full bottles. I'd love to try that Tabak he put out.
Tabak is something else. I don't know why you don't have that fragrance, bro. Yeah, Tabak is really nice, and it's not just tobacco. It's there's a creaminess to it. There's spices, and it's really nice.
It looks like it'd be right up my alley.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's somewhere between oud wood and tobacco vanille.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Thank you. Thank you for the super chat, Rachel. Rachel says, here's to many great John videos to come. So you have fans already.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. What else have you been playing around with or picking up?
Well, let me ask you your opinion on a couple of these old school vintages that everyone is now after. So Rich wore this today. Do you have any experience with the silver stem Dior Homme?
No, the only thing I have is I have a 2014 DHI.
Okay.
And I think this is all you need, in my opinion.
Right.
I think it's perfect. It's perfect. But I'm sure that's fantastic what you got there.
Yeah, the silver stem is really good. Rich says it's like watching someone paint with a fine, brush and fine strokes versus big, broad strokes. But I love them all. He sold his Dior Homme Parfum, but I love the Parfum too. So
I believe it or not, I've never tried the Parfum. And,
You've never
if I have, it's been in passing, and I didn't take note of it. You would think in these thousands of decants that I have, it would be somewhere in here, but yeah, this DHI is near perfect of a fragrance.
Yeah. It's a really good designer.
Yeah. Right. As far as designers go, it's top notch,
Rachel says she doesn't get myrrh in Antaeus, by the way, just going back to Antaeus. So maybe there's some truth to that. I don't know. Yeah, that was the sports version, Stephen.
In the modern or the vintage, she doesn't get myrrh at all.
That's what she says in regular Antaeus.
Huh.
Vitor was asking, what did we wear when we were 15? I wore when I was 15. I was wearing that Issey Miyake that everyone wore. What was it called that I can't wear anymore?
DC.
Yeah.
DC.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were 15 at very different times. I was 15 in 1985. So I had like a rotation of the things that I got for birthdays and Christmas. So I had polo green, I had corum, chaps. Let's see what else. What else? Yeah, that would be about maybe Aramis, maybe something my dad threw down my way.
Do you have do you have chaps in the collection now? And polo green?
I don't, but it's on my list. I'll get to it. Believe it or not, I don't have polo green in my collection either.
No.
I just never got around to getting it. You just get sidetracked, and there's a couple of those early fragrances. Like I have corum, and and I have Aramis. You want to see some cool shit?
Yes, show us. I'll blow you up. That's what we're here for.
All right, hold on. Let me see.
I don't like the Platinum Ego East either, mate. I don't even own a bottle.
Hold on. What did I do with it?
Why Black Afghano smells like goat butthole? I don't know what exactly goat butthole smells like, but if you think it smells like Black Afghano, I'll take your word for it. Vitor. Yes, you have to try that Queer Ombre. It is amazing, especially if you love kind of the leather fragrances that I talk about and I love. Queer Ombre is kind of a hidden gem. That sample set that was sent to me by Armando, man, he hit the nail on the head. You have 2 bottles too, Mike. I guess I'm the only one left out.
I don't know what the hell I did with that. All right, I'll find it. It'll pop up. But
yep. What was it?
I have an Aramis decanter that I don't know what I did with. Oh, here it is. I got another thing that's pretty cool. I'll show you in a second. This is an Aramis decanter.
Oh, look at that.
I don't know how well you can see that, but
yeah,
it's
holy moly.
It's an Aramis decanter. It's about half full, and there's about 200 mils there. It was 400 mils, I think.
That was a 400 mil.
400 mils, and the guy that I bought it off of, look at that juice, dude. Look at the color of that juice.
I know.
So,
sexy as hell.
Guy I bought it off of said this is one of 2 different decanters that they made, and this one he dates to about 73.
Amazing.
And it smells like nothing you've had. It smells like Porto's dialed up.
Really? It smells different from all the other Aramids you smell?
Yeah. And it's held well. It's held really well. There's nothing missing or off or twingy or nothing. It's boozy and dense and dark, and oh man, it's one of my gems. It's one of the crown jewels for sure.
Wow.
And this one, let me see if I can. This is, look at this. It's wood, okay? And it goes over top of this set.
Yes.
This is a set with poker chips.
That is badass.
And it's the aftershave and the EDT.
So apparently Ted Lapidus did that for a bunch of sets, because I have the one with the pen.
Nice.
So they did some crazy stuff.
I absolutely, that's the kind of stuff that I love. Look at that. There's a Gucci Pour Homme out there that has, or is it Gucci Pour Homme? Maybe it's Drakkar. Either Gucci Pour Homme, the original 76, or the Drakkar. I can't remember which, but it comes with a calculator in the set. Like a Casio, the old school 80s calculators.
Right.
And I'd love to get my hands on that.
Have I sent you the link to the guy that I bought my 200 mil Bellamy and 1960s, 70s Queer de Russie from? Have I sent you the link to that guy from Italy?
No.
He has a ton of stuff like that, dude. He's got stuff. He's got sets with like little mini statues and I mean all kind of stuff. I'll send you the link. I sent it to Eugene and Rich, but I'll send it to you. And he's reliable.
Rich sent me a link to something similar to that. Did the guy have all pictures taken of all the
in like a Google photo thing. Yeah,
Yeah. I
that
think
was him.
Rich sent that to me. Send it again if you don't
I
mind.
will.
I'm sure that's lost in the stash chat, you know.
Yep. But
But
he was
that's the kind of
legit.
cool, obscure stuff that just tickles me.
Yep. That no one else has. Apparently, Italy has a ton of like vintage stuff just floating around.
Italy is the mecca of, I mean, next to Canada and Germany, Italy is like, man, you can find so much good stuff in there. I've gotten friendly with a shop owner in Italy that has an Etsy store, and he emailed me after like my third purchase from him. He was like, dude, he emailed me. He's like, just email me and tell me what you want, and we'll see what we got, and I'll send you a private list. He said, let's deal off of Etsy so we can save some money. I was like,
Cool.
you have to tell me twice.
Yeah.
You
Those
know,
are the best relationships to foster.
that's who I got. That's who I got these off of.
Oh, dude. Is that the 200 mil?
It's 250, I think.
250. That's right. I think we have the same
Yeah.
one. Look at us. We're twins. It's a beauty.
Yeah.
You once told me something outrageous about this. Did you say this is one of your favorites in the whole collection?
Yeah. I've got the 100 mil spray, and I've got a 50 mil splash.
What do you compare this to? Do you think this smells like anything?
I was thinking about that the other day. Somebody asked me the same question a couple of days ago. What do I think it's like? I don't know that there's, well, I'll tell you what I think is not, does something smell like it? Like, does it smell like something? But I think a lot of things smell like it.
Yes.
You get what I mean? Like
yeah.
Came out in 78, and it's got a little bit of everything in it. It's got a little bit of Derby. It's got a little bit of Bois de Portugal. It's got a little bit of like darker, denser stuff. It's amazing. It's amazing.
It's so classy. Do you get like a hay-like tobacco vibe in the dry down?
Yeah. Hay, tobacco. Yeah. I don't know about hay. I don't know that it gets that dry for me. But what I've noticed is, though, that each of these bottles has its own character. Not that one or the other is off. These are pristine. These bottles are pristine.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the guy kept them very well, and I've sprayed and sampled all three extensively. But each one has its own characters. Each one is this one is a little bit brighter than the 250 mil, which is a little bit denser, and then the 50 mil that I have is a little more herbal. So I don't know what that's about, but I don't think any two fragrances are alike.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, think about all the different places and climates and situations that this bottle has been through over the last 45 years.
Right. I mean, that's a long time
to get it to the character that it is now, you know, and I'm sure it's not like it was when they first rolled it off the press, you know what I mean?
No, it's going to change. I mean, even if you kept it in a completely dark room under climate control, it's still gonna change over the years.
It's gonna age and mature and
but dude, Dunhill Blend 30, that's like a special. You know what it's like for me? It's like wearing a like a special event, like a fragrance you would wear on like Father's Day or someone's birthday, but a fragrance that you could wear every day. Like I could wear that every day, and I would never feel out of place. I would always feel like it's just so classy,
so well blended, so balanced. It hits all the right notes. For me, and it's a little on the darker side. So, you know, for me, it ticks all the boxes.
Yep, agreed.
And I heard about it last year sometime, and I don't know where, who, or how, but it caught my eye, and I was like, what is this? And I started hunting for it, and I was like, can't find this stuff. And
Yeah.
finally found it in Italy. As soon as I found it, I bought as much as I could because I knew once I told somebody about it that, you know, it'd be all over.
Word was getting out. Yeah, Alan says he wore polo green and Obsession as well, but not at the same time, obviously. But
No.
what did you ever wear? What Calvins did you wear? Did you ever wear this one, the original Calvin?
Oh yeah. I have the EDT.
Yeah.
The big boy, and I have a little aftershave.
Is this your favorite Calvin Klein, or do you like Obsession more?
I think this is by far better.
Yeah.
For me.
This is more in line with the stuff someone like a vintage head would wear. However,
well, I'll tell you what, let me stop you there. Speaking of what do I think of Dunhill smells like, this has a little Dunhill blend 30.
yes.
You know? And talk about a fragrance that ticks all the boxes. This original Calvin is amazing. And if I wasn't able, well, actually I did have this aftershave first, and I was happy and content with it because it's a banger. The aftershave is a banger.
Yeah, that's something a lot of people overlook. Well, you wear an aftershave as a fragrance.
Hell yeah. Some of these aftershaves that I have are way better than modern fragrances.
It's true. And it's much cheaper. If you don't want to spend the dough, some of these EDTs are commanding. Aftershaves are a great way to get your foot in the door.
I do that when I find one of these unicorns and I'm like, oh, the prices. I'm like, let me see if I can go after a small aftershave just to get a sense of the character of it and the, you know, what is it, you know, will I like it? Because the older aftershaves, I think we're given as much care as the EDTs and EDPs.
Yeah, I think you're right. That is a good word for vintages, care. It really feels like they put time and care into these fragrances back then, which they don't do now. I feel like they just pump them out.
Creativity.
Yep. What do you like?
Creativity's been stomped out.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Completely. But again, it's because they're going for nothing but dollars and they're not going for creativity. Do you like Obsession for men?
I do. I don't have it currently.
Okay.
But I do. And I like the women's version too. Yeah,
the women's is good. The men and the women's is actually really close. But Anuj sent me this Calvin Klein cosmetic bottle. Did you know there was someone told me there was an eau de cologne originally?
Of the
This is an eau de toilette.
Really?
I've never seen the eau de cologne, but he said the first year or two it was an eau de cologne. They changed it to eau de toilette. I've never seen it. I was just curious.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that. I guess I got to go look for that now.
Yeah, if he's right, who knows? But yeah. Alan says, speaking of leather fragrances, I quite like Queer by Molinard. You ever smelled that one?
No, but it's on my list. A few of those Molinards have gotten my attention. How is it?
This one, Alan. It's actually, it's okay. At first, I thought I didn't like it. It's almost like a weird floral, like rough leather fragrance that the more I've worn it, the more it's kind of grown on me. You know, I think there's a big geranium note in here, but it is good. I have grown to like it more. The first time I sprayed it, I thought it sucked, and I was kind of disappointed. But I've kind of
I love leather fragrances.
I do too. They're my favorite.
Yeah.
So that's good, but you know, don't pay more than $50 or $60 for it, I'd say.
No. Yeah, leather. Speaking of leathers, just because it was right next to it, this is a really good leather. This is Prada's Desert Serenade.
Never smelled it. Desert
Serenade leather.
I don't even think I've heard of it.
It's so good, dude. So freaking good. I can't even tell you how good it is.
I'm gonna put it on the wish list right now. 2018.
Yeah. 18 or 19.
Leather, cumin, honey, saffron, cypress, and musk. Huh?
The honey is so good, dude. It's silly. It's silly.
Have you smelled those Pradas that Armando guy sent me? The Queer Styrax and Queer Ambra.
No, is that from the same collection?
No, it's from this. It's like they're numbered. So it's like,
Oh,
Queer Umbro is number 3, and Queer Styrax is number 11. So the bottles look like this.
right. How are they?
The Queer Umbra is my favorite. It's absolutely stunning. If you like Russian leathers,
Hell yeah.
this Queer Umbra is kind of like a little bit of a hidden gem. Again, no one talks about this stuff, and I would be one of those no ones had Armando not sent me this. But yeah, it's really good, really good.
I've still got that that Russian leather on my radar that you mentioned a long while back. I don't know if it's Obelensk or what's the other one. They come in the tall bottles with the little Russian guy with the black hat.
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
There's a few of them floating around on eBay, but I'm always afraid to pull the trigger on them. I don't know.
Is it this one?
Yeah, that's it.
So I got this on Mercari a couple of weeks back for $14.
Shut up. How much is in there?
Like right here.
Wow. How's it smell?
I actually haven't worn it yet, but it smells fine from the atomizer. But you can tell it wasn't. It probably was somewhere where it wasn't the best taken care of, because it's got like a little grime around the.
Yeah.
But for $14, I figured I'd take a punt on it. You know.
Yeah, as long as the juice is good.
Yep. So yeah, that's a good one. Let's see, what else did I pull out? I just pulled out a bunch of stuff. So what about Lagerfeld? Are you a fan?
Yeah, of course.
Of the cologne spray? Can you believe this is discontinued? This hurts my soul. It's discontinued.
Yeah, it's phenomenal, dude. However, I have to disagree with you about the cologne EDT controversy that you claim. I have an early one that's just after the cologne, and I've dated it to just after they stopped making the colognes and changed it to the eau de toilettes.
Okay,
and
they did the
and maybe in that first year or two after they stopped calling it cologne, they kept that original, formula. But for me, I don't notice a difference.
Really? You don't notice a difference between these two?
No, and I'm thinking like maybe the EDT you have is like a way down the street reform, but I've got an eau de toilette that's I dated to just after they stopped making the colognes, and I can't notice a difference, honestly.
Wow. Do you know who makes your eau de toilette? Mine is Inter Parfums.
I can't. Fuck. Dude,
We got to get you some glasses.
No, I'm blind. I'm legally blind, dude. It's true. Yeah, I can't read it, dude. I'll have to get a magnifier later.
All right. Text me later. I'll be interested to see which one it is, because I don't think Inter Parfums was the first one to do the EDT.
Here's just sitting next to the
let me blow you up on that one. So that's the original Canitze 10 with the writing all inside of the circle, right?
Yeah. It's amazing.
What's have you compared it to the modern?
No. It's so dry, it like leaves your mouth like. It's fantastic, dude.
Do you get this? Do you get a lot of iris from it?
Not a lot, but I get it. but I think it's so well blended that it doesn't, nothing pokes out, nothing sticks
Yeah.
out.
Have you
Yeah,
smelled the what was it? The golden edition.
no, I hear you talking about it, and you're giving me FOMO, man. So stop talking about it.
Did you have a chance to grab one?
No, one of these days I will. The more you
Yeah.
talk about it, the more I'll be motivated to go get it.
Dude, it's apparently it's easy to find overseas. I don't know.
Is
It's
it?
hard for me to find in the States.
How, is it still in production? No, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I've heard conflicting reports, but yeah, I mean,
How
there's
is it?
nothing.
What's the difference? Tell me about it.
At least in the modern just regular Canitze 10, I get much more. I always see like this purplish, leathery, like ionones, and you
Do you
know.
have an older one?
No, I don't have an older one, so that's the thing. But in the
Well,
golden
we'll put that on the
edition,
list to send you a decant so you can compare.
yes, that would be awesome. But in the golden edition, it really feels more like a proper Spanish leather. Like it feels like that vintage bottle or that vintage decant of Poda España that was sent to me from Santa Maria Novella, which that's a full bottle worthy fragrance too.
Can't find that.
It's impossible.
Can't find it.
And that was the gold foil edition.
I like that house too. I have Tobacco Toscano, which is really nice.
You know, I didn't realize they date back to like 1221 or something.
Yeah, further back than Creed.
Just by a couple
Hundred
years. Yeah.
Yeah. What else? What else you got?
Oh, let's see what else I pulled out. I heard this was discontinued. No one talks about this anymore. Louder for Men.
Louder. Yeah. I have two versions of it. Here's one.
So that's the all gold cap. No, that's a Scotta Porom.
Oh, what did you say? Louder?
Louder. What do you have, the gold cap version or the newer green one? I think this is a good formulation, by the way, but I hear this is basically discontinued. Like they're not making any new bottles of this.
Maybe I don't have it up here. Maybe I don't have it up here. Maybe it's. Maybe I still have it boxed. I just got it a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, nice. Did you get the vintage?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I didn't even. There's some stuff that I haven't even unboxed. Like I didn't even get a chance to unbox this yet. I just got this from Manouche.
Nice. Let me blow you up. What is that?
Eau d'Orange.
Oh, I've never smelled that.
The concentrate. I just recently started to get into Hermes, and I really don't know what the hell I've been waiting for. It's there's so much stuff that I haven't gotten. Just got this recently.
Wow.
It's the Eau de Cologne.
Yes, the original.
Yeah. The next one I need is the vintage Eau de Hermes. Oh,
you don't have vintage Eau de Hermes? You'll love that.
Yeah, like I said, I just started to stick my toe in the water of Hermes. I don't know why the house never got on my radar. You know, it's just one of those things. Nothing intentional. I just never got around to getting it. You know what it is? I'll tell you what it is. When I was in Florida, I went somewhere and that had Terre d'Hermes, and I sampled it, and I thought, what the hell is this? I was like, I think that's what kind of turned me off of Hermes.
Yeah.
You know, but now that I'm circling back to it, I've smelled the vintage Eau de Hermes, and it's maybe one of the better fragrances I've ever smelled.
Yep. I think it's
without exaggerating.
No, not exaggerating. Not at all.
Yeah.
I think it's Rudnitska's best work followed by maybe Rochas Femme and, you know, Miss Dior and all the other amazing stuff he did. But do you have vintage Bel Ami then?
No, those are the only two Hermes
Oh,
I have. Yeah, I
okay.
know. I'm slacking, dude. I'm sorry.
So we gotta get this. But have you smelled it?
Vintage Bel Ami?
Bel Ami?
No, and I'll tell you what, dude. You're holding the 200 mil that I almost bought. I procrastinated on it, and you snapped it up, and I like. You got me on that one, dude. You win.
From the guy in Italy.
Yeah. You bastard. He had the 200 mil, the 100 mil, and the 50 mil sitting there, and I had it in my cart for months, dude. For months. And I just never pulled the trigger on it. What did you get it for? 350?
I didn't buy it from the guy that you sent me from Etsy. I bought it from the guy that Rich sent you the link on with the pictures.
Okay. Well, then maybe you didn't buy it, but that's what I've been looking after is a 200 mil, and now it's gone. Somebody must have snapped it up.
So this guy still has, I think, a couple more bottles. I'll send you the link.
Please do. Thank you.
He's legit.
Awesome.
I really enjoyed working with him and all of his stuff. Say again?
Is that a spray?
No, it's a splash.
Splash.
Yeah, it's a splash. It's here. Whoops.
Knowing what I know of the few Hermeses that I've tried, I can only imagine how good that is.
This is, well, you've seen my top 100 countdown, right?
Yeah.
This is number one, dude.
Yeah.
This is number one for a reason.
It'll end up in the collection sooner rather than later.
Has to. It's so good, man. It is. I mean, I've told some people to buy this. Like, I know Dushan bought this, and he came back and said, "Dude, you're exactly right. It is one of the best leathers I've ever smelled. It's my favorite. It's just, I love it. I've got like 4 bottles of it now, so I think I'm set for life."
Do you really?
Yep.
You have 4 bottles. You have the 200 mil, and what else?
I've got 200 mil. I've got 2 100 mils in the square, like the first reformulation, and then Anuj sent me a 50 mil of spray of the
They're starting to become hard to find in any version.
Yes. And you know what else is getting hard to find? You need to snatch up one of these bottles before they get impossible to find either. This Bel Ami vetiver.
Yeah, I hear it's good.
So if you like Bel Ami, someone was telling me that this is completely off of the Hermes website and they can't find it anywhere. And I was like, dude, I don't know what's going on. I was like, what did the Hermes associates say? They said they don't know that either it's getting discontinued or if they're going to get more stock, but he's like, they don't have any. So
yeah, I'm going to have to get it.
Grab it.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of vetiver too, so I'm definitely going to have to get it.
Eugene says this is one of the best sheepers of the last 20 years.
Really?
Pretty damn powerful statement.
When did Bel Ami vetiver come out? 2012?
It was something like that. Let's see. Bel Ami. So Jean-Claude Elena was playing with this 2013. Parfumo only lists vetiver and leather, but I think there's a lot more going on here.
Yeah. Ever since I was convinced after I smelled that vintage Eau de Hermes, I was convinced that I need to go after some of these others like Bel Ami and the vetiver.
Yeah, Vitor says the new Bel Ami is okay. I'd say go for the new Bel Ami. Go for Bel Ami vetiver over the new Bel Ami, and go for older Bel Ami. It's still out there. You can still find it.
That's probably exactly what I do. I hear the first reform of the Bel Ami is pretty good too. Yeah,
it's probably my favorite, actually, of all of them.
What makes it your favorite? I've heard you say that a few times.
It's just, it seems like, I don't know who did the reformulation, because I think what ended up happening is they issued Bel Ami in this form, this shaker bottle form, and then I think they completely discontinued it. Like, it was gone. Like, it was there for a couple of years. It didn't sell, and they just it axed it, by the end of the 80s. And then what I think ended up happening is when Jean-Claude Elena came into Hermes, I think he then kind of reworked it and put it back out, is my guess. I don't know. Maybe they did it before he got there. But whoever did that reform, I feel like they just kind of took a fragrance that, while the rough edges on Bel-Ami are beautiful, I love the sharpness of the woods and the leather and all this stuff. It's got that iso quinoline note or whatever leather. That note doesn't bother me. But the first reform just seems like it's been like polished, like they just polished it a little bit more. Yeah. Maybe one day I'll do a comparison video. I mean, I love them all. I love all versions of Bel-Ami except the newest one. So this or the first reform are the one that I'd go for.
Yeah, I kind of really want the 200 mil just because it's odd and nobody has it. But I think I might just break down and get what's available, get a 50 mil or 100 mil just to have it in my collection.
Yep, I would recommend.
I definitely want the shaker bottle. The shaker bottle sounds a little bit more my speed. I like things that are a little rough around the edges, a little challenging.
It is, yeah. Steve says my mic's gone crazy. Is it back?
Yeah, you were doing like a computer voice there for a minute.
Have you smelled this Pure Distance M that's supposed to smell like Bel-Ami?
No. I have a Pure Distance, but it's not the M. I have Pure Distance. This is called a Notice.
Never sniffed it. What's it like?
It's fantastic. It's like it's so good, dude. If I had to pick a signature scent, this would be it.
Really?
Yeah, it's somewhere between Rive Gauche and oh man, I don't even know. Rive Gauche and I don't know. It's just so creamy and herbal, and it's light, but it's dense. I don't know how to explain it, dude. It's one of the most posh fragrances I own.
Is it citrusy and fresh?
Well, it says it has a bunch of citruses at the top, but for me, they seem like creamy and smoothed out citruses, if that computes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's this is Antoine Lee, by the way.
Really? Okay, I'll put it on the to sniff list.
Yeah, it's very good. I mean, it's reinventing the wheel or anything. Like if you had things like Rive Gauche, then maybe you don't need it, but it's the quality is on another level that Pure Distance, they don't spare any expense.
No,
you have the M, right?
Yeah, they're a good house.
They're super expensive though.
Yeah, they are. That is the one thing about some of these niche houses that we kind of have dived into. Pure Distance, Roja, Amouage. I mean, they are not cheap to
I see you've been beefing up your Raja collection there, buddy.
I have, but I think I'm about done. The only one I really want still is PDLN1, but I don't know if I'm going to get a full bottle.
I'd take Pierre de Valet #1 over that.
Which one?
Pierre de Valet #1.
Oh, I haven't smelled any from that line at all.
They're good. Pierre de Valet #1, Royale #3. There's a couple of Rajas out there that I still want. I've got a number. I have 2 more of the golf collection to finish off that collection, and maybe a couple more Rajas, but that'd do it. Nothing modern, obviously.
Yeah,
nothing modern. Anything that I would want from him would be way older.
He's kind of gone the route of Creed, huh? It almost seems like some of his new stuff is getting kind of questionable.
I don't know if I'm crazy, but I think I heard somewhere that he's not even in control of the brand anymore. Is that right?
I don't know. So I heard that rumor too.
I've heard that he's kind of now just a chairman, like kind of consultant on the brand. I think it was bought by a larger company. And that's why you're getting things like Apex and Apex Parfum and whatever the hell else they're doing.
Yeah, they are going down a slippery slope. I have a decant of that Apex. I'm going to talk about it one day. It's not
Well,
terrible.
it's probably decent, right?
It's decent, I think.
If I had to guess, I would think it would smell something like Sauvage or something like that, you know?
Yeah, it's like a modern. It's like if you took an '80s fragrance and tried to modernize it, tried to make it like, you know, like a modern Roja.
Yeah. I've got a couple of goodies from him. Maybe 3 or 4 more and I'll be done.
Yeah.
I just want to finish off that golf collection. I love that collection.
Which ones are you missing?
I'm missing UAE and Kingdom of Bahrain.
Those are going to be tough to find. Do you have Kuwait?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have Kuwait. I have Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I have Qatar, and I have Qatar. What else do I have? Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Qatar.
Sultanate of Oman.
Yes, that's what I have.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Four.
Yeah, Chris says they're not even putting Roja on the side of the bottles anymore.
No. It's craziness.
So I wonder if he's already kind of sold out and he's just acting as a figurehead. Ah, nice. Those bottles are beautiful, man.
They really are. They really are.
You got to give it to them. Do you get some of the familiarity in the base between all those, though? That's the only thing, is that it seems like you're using like a common base, you know what I mean, and then just switching things around.
Yeah, they're of the same family. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. What are your favorite Rojas?
Probably Kuwait would be up there. I'll show you in a second. Kuwait is one for sure. Let's see. This is another favorite. Kuwait is a favorite. This is a favorite.
Which one's that?
This is the Amber Absolute. This is the Amber Oud Absolute Precio.
Okay, I've never smelled it.
It's probably one of the better ambers I've ever smelled. It's amazing.
Yeah, I like
really
amber
amazing. This dials it all the way up, and it's just pure luxury. It's just.
Is it so? It's better. You think it's better than just the regular amber Oud?
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
For sure. The Musk Oud's no good.
I didn't like the Musk Oud.
No, and there's a couple of other Ouds out there that I wasn't crazy about. The Amber Oud's good. I don't want to discount that it's not good, but this one it's good, dude. It's really good. I like this one, and a lot of people trash it, but I like it.
I've never smelled that. You know, they've got an eau de parfum version coming out.
Yeah, it kind of cheapens this a little bit that they did that.
Yeah. They've got this eau de parfum coming out.
This one's a killer, man. It's really good. However, I'm a little bit upset about the quality of the cap.
Oh, that's shit.
The cap's not snug. It like spins like a top.
It's the same bottle, though. How does that happen when they're doing the same bottle? I mean, that's the same bottle as the 100 mils they've been selling forever.
Tell me, dude. And it's a beautiful cap. I mean,
right.
it weighs a ton, but something, I don't know if they put a smaller crimp on here or.
So show the camera that Roja on the side of the bottle. So that's what you're talking about. They're not writing that anymore, right? That right there, they're not writing that. Is that what they're saying in the chat?
Yeah, yeah, they're starting to cut corners. You can tell.
Yeah.
That's why if there are any other Rajas that I'm going to go after, it'll just be the older ones.
Yep. I think you're right.
You know, and you know, I like Hot Lux and
I do too. That's
I like
really
Saudi
growing.
Arabia. I like the Saudi Arabia, and I really like the UAE. That's high on my list.
I've got a sample of that. I'm going to do a video on it soon.
The UAE.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very good. It's probably right up underneath Kuwait for me.
Yeah, I heard they were very similar. Have you tried FM, the Parfum, Fortnum and Mason?
Let me stop you right there. Fortnum and Mason. I'll say this: Fortnum and Mason is one of the best Rajas there are. Number 2,
Yep.
Fortnum and Mason's Taif Oud is probably one of the best roses I've ever smelled.
Okay, so that's where I was going to go because I remember you telling me this. I've never smelled it though, and then somebody else, I can't remember who, someone left a comment saying Fortnum and Mason Taif Oud is awesome, and it brought back your comment to me months ago.
Dude, it's beyond. And I would part with a couple of these fragrances for it.
Really?
I initially put my nose on the Fortnum and Mason, the regular FM, whatever, and it's fantastic. It really is one of I'd say my top 10 Rajas. And after I put my nose on that Taif Oud, dude, it's so goddamn good. I don't even know how to explain it. Oh, and speaking of Taif Oud, you want to? I recently got a couple of Ormond Janes, and I got Ormond Man.
Yeah.
First of all, which is really very nice.
It's okay. Yeah.
It's a classy fragrance. I dig it.
Yeah.
But this one, speaking of Taif, this is, I don't know if you can see this, Ormond Jane Taif Elixir.
I've heard of it, never smelled it.
Really good. Really, really good.
Is Taif rose your favorite rose?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. It's in the fragrances that I've smelled, Taif rose is just the best. It just it scratches that itch for me as far as rose. Not to say that I don't like other types of rose, like this one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, which one's that? Guerlain.
It's Rose Barber.
I've never smelled that.
Oh, it's wonderful. It really is wonderful.
What I hear.
This is a recent acquisition.
Dude, those are getting kind of pricey, man.
Look at that box, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rose Barber is impossible to find, and when you do find it, it's a kick in the teeth.
I love those bottles. I don't know why Guerlain went away from them.
Yeah, they're really nice. But this Rose Barber is one of the best masculine roses, I think. You could stand it up next to anything. I think it's a Kirkshon, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Yeah. Look it up. I'm reasonably sure it's Francis Kirkshon. Kirkshon.
Captain Kirk from 2005. Yeah, it says Captain Kirk. Aldehyde, Bulgarian rose, Turkish rose, fenugreek, honey underwood, and patchouli.
Fenugreek, right? What the hell is that?
I don't know. Someone explained it to me the other day, and I forgot already.
It smells good, dude. and those older bottles are definitely different from things that have come after it.
Yeah.
I have this, and it's just a whole nother level of good.
Which one's that?
This is on Sans Mythique.
Yes. So you think there's a difference between the new bottles of Sans Mythique?
Yeah.
There's a difference.
There's slight differences. I think this ambergris is better. either
Yeah,
better or more of it, or
probably.
I don't know. I have all of the Orient bottles with the exception of this one. I've smelled it, but I don't have it because I have this, and I don't have Ombre Eternal.
Ah, you don't have Ombre Eternal, eh?
Yeah, it's the only one I don't have.
I got that coming.
It's the only one I don't have, and I think the most recent one I got is the Musk,
Um,
which is really nice, but it's not my favorite.
Yeah, it's what I've heard. I have a story on Ombre Eternal. Actually, I'll tell you later, but I might have a bottle for you if you want it.
Yeah, for sure.
I might have someone who has a bottle that she's trying to sell that you could probably buy easily at a good price.
The only other one from that line that I really would like is I have the Bois Mysterio, but I want a bottle of the Sange Bois du Net.
Yes. Yeah. The old one?
Yeah, I've done side by sides, and the Sange is just better. Not to take anything away from Bois Mysterio, because I like it. I have it in my collection. Yeah, you got it. And it's beautiful, but the Sange is just a notch better. Like we talked about care, it seems like the Sange has just a notch more care put into it.
Yeah.
Like I think in the Bois Mysterio, it seems like they put just a spoonful more of filler in it.
Yeah.
Than the Sange. You
so I've thought about doing a side-by-side video, but I'm worried that I won't be able to detect any differences. But maybe I will. Maybe I'll do a side-by-side.
I do, and I'm no expert, but I think the differences are noticeable.
So Black Monday is asking, John, did you ever smell Nino Cerruti 1979? Go back to the start of this video, and you're a little late to the party, but we actually started out talking about this bad boy, and I have it right here. I think Jonathan's wearing it.
Yeah, this is my scent of the day. It's phenomenal. I'm really glad I got my nose on it. I'm really happy to have that little partial.
Yes, Anuj is an absolute lifesaver when it comes to partials lying around in that warehouse of his, man.
Man, one of these days I'm gonna take my ass up to Canada and tour the place. What treasures he must have in there.
Oh, you heard the story about the time Eugene was doing that stream, and there was an old bottle of Givenchy Gentleman.
Yeah.
Lying around, and I was like, dude, I'll take that. And he's like, sorry, Ramsey, 20 people have already hit me up about it.
Yeah, you're not the only one that got beat out by Richmond. You're not the only one. I don't even know how. Like, he's quick on the draw, man.
Yep.
Quick on the draw. Don't let the duck fool you. He is fleet of foot.
Do you get similarities with Givenchy Gentleman and Pavarotti?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like big, huge differences, monumental differences.
Yeah. They are close though, right? That honey patchouli.
I feel like this is denser, honey, the patchouli, and there's this, kind of smoky-ish leather that's way punchier than Pavarotti.
Yeah.
This has a little, like if you leave the cap on too long and pull it off, there's a little skank on the atomizer.
Oh yeah. There's that old masculine 70s skank on this. This is one of my favorite fragrances of all time.
It's good. It's real good. It's and I love leathers and patchoulis and dark fragrances, and I just got this one recently.
Yeah, you were talking about that yesterday. Querida Russi, eh?
It's the EDT. This is a 2013.
Did you catch my unboxing of the Eau de Cologne of Querida Russi?
Yeah, you lucky dog, you.
I'm a big fan of Querida Russi, man. I think that's one of the greatest fragrances of all time. But the one you have is fantastic.
I got to be honest with you. The first time I put my nose on it, I was a little bit off put by some of the florals.
Yes.
Florals and some of the aldehyde. It struck me, just a little bit too, that 70s, 60s, 70s bombastic feminines. And it kind of struck me kind of weird the first time I smelled it. And then I kept revisiting it, and it turned into a love for sure.
I feel the same way about number 5 to this day, dude. I really struggle with number 5 because of the aldehyde.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. I can appreciate it, and I see what it is, and it's in some of its iterations, I enjoy it, but like the eau de cologne, dude, I can't even be in the same room with that eau de cologne. It's just so off-putting to me. Number 5 eau de cologne. It's got to be one of the most off-putting fragrances. And dude, I've got a shit ton of off-putting fragrances.
Yep. Yeah, it's brutal.
But, yeah, I mean, what are they? I don't even understand what they were thinking. Like that's a niche, indie, experimental, kick your teeth in kind of a fragrance, and they were doing that like mass production.
Do you get a bunch of civet and a bunch of weird, just aldehydic floral civet? It's challenging to me.
I have a decant of the number 5 eau de cologne, and I revisit it every once in a while to remind myself how much I don't like it.
How much you hate it? Yep, I do the exact same thing. Same thing.
There's something so intense about it. The way I describe it is, it smells like showered skin with really bad soap. And like intense florals that shouldn't be in a fragrance.
I'm laughing because I know exactly what you're talking about. That's actually a really good.
And you're like, it's like a car wreck. You kind of can't turn away from it. And you're like, what? Who thought to put this in a fragrance? Like,
have you ever wore it as your scent of the day?
Number 5, no.
Yeah, dude, it's brutal.
I just say, I'm not above. I got plenty of women's fragrances in my collection.
No,
some of my favorite fragrances are women's fragrances, but number 5 just not my cup of tea. Like I love 19. 19 is one of my favorites.
Yes, that Pure Parfum is badass, dude. The Galvin 19 is.
And I don't. Do you have the Pure Parfum, or at least
never smelled it? No, never smelled it.
It's for some reason in this little Pure Parfum, I get a stale cigarette vibe.
Yes, I know what you mean.
And it's so intriguing. Like the Galbanum's, some of the best in the game, I think. So
the best.
I don't have a problem with women's fragrances. I'm all about it.
Yeah, that's right. You showed me that bottle before, man. That is a hard find.
Dear Essence. This is phenomenal. And I could be wrong, but I think we dated this bottle to the early 70s, this limited edition bottle. And it's got the pressurized atomizer.
Yes.
So you just push it down and it fire hoses.
Dude, someone showed me a article that claimed that Guy Robert found inspiration from this.
I read that article.
When he was testing ambergris, right? Did I send that to you, or did you read it? It was amazing.
He washed his hands with that cheap soap.
With the imitation Dior soap.
Knockoff soap.
But this is real. I think Dior Essence is my favorite Guy Robert, and that includes Goldman from Amouage. Like, I really like Goldman, but this is like fine French perfumery on another level.
Of all those Dior feminines, those older Dior feminines, Dior Essence by far is my favorite. I really, believe it or not, I really like Miss Dior. I don't know if you've ever smelled Miss Dior.
I love Miss Dior, dude.
Yeah, it's really good.
I have the Esprit de Parfum.
Yeah.
Anouge has these still. If you guys are into Chiffres, dude, This is not.
He has those Esprit
Yeah.
de Parfums.
Yes.
Really? I have to hit him up about it.
Yes.
Yeah,
At least he did.
I've smelled the vintage Miss Dior's and they're real good.
The problem with Miss Dior is there's a million formulations, so you have to be careful buying the right one. But if you can get one of these older ones,
yeah.
I mean,
Diorama's pretty good. Diorella's okay. I don't know what's the one I don't like. I think Diorissimo or maybe it's Diorella. There's one of them that I don't like, but I like most of them.
Diorissimo is the Lily of the Valley.
No, maybe it's not that one. One of the Dior's I'm not crazy about, but most of them I like, and the Dior Essence especially.
Yeah, Dior Essence is kind of really underrated. It's like a Shifra on top of this crazy Oriental base. And if you ever get a bottle of Chamade by Guerlain, compare the two.
It's very good.
Compare Dior Essence and Chamade one day when you're bored. They both came out the same year. They both have this very complex like swirl about them, and they both dry down to this resinous like styrax, ambergris, animalic kind of base thing. Amazing. Amazing.
It's hyacinth, right?
I think there is hyacinth in.
Because I have the Chamade Homme.
I've never smelled that one.
Dude, it's good. It is very good.
No, I've never smelled that one.
Yeah, I was a little bit unsure about it. I was a little bit unsure about it when I first got it.
Yeah.
And then it grew on me. Put a little air in the bottle, and it's really grown on me.
Yeah, I've got it on the watch list.
Yeah, it's very good. I like the fragrances from this line. I have the Derby and the Lupin, and I have the what's the other one I have? Lame Dune Heroes. Arrows.
Yes, that's very close to Coriolan. Yep. Yeah, that's a good line. Wasser did good reformulations. Even that Derby reform he did was really good.
Yeah, I have the Derby here. It's very good. I would love to get my nose, and I'm really considering buying a mini just to get my nose on the first form of the Derby.
Yep.
Because I hear it's a different fragrance, first of all, and I hear it's even better.
It is a little bit different and it is a little bit better, but if you have a full bottle of the one that Wasser did from 2005, I mean, you're probably good unless the collector in you just wants the.
Yeah, I most likely will get like a little 10 mil of it just to have for reference.
They're hard to find, man.
Yeah, and they're expensive. I saw a 10 mil mini for like $90. I was like, you gotta be kidding.
Yeah, I think that's about what they're going for, believe it or not. It is insane, isn't it?
Silly.
Yeah, those 10 mils are nuts. What else did I pull out? How about this? Do you have this in your collection? Leonard Poron.
Many bottles.
Good. Yeah, that's a good one. Anuj has this too, I think. Or used to. I don't know if he still does, but dude, value for money on this stuff is out of this world.
Oh yeah. It's very good. I have little bottles of it, and I have a big bottle of it.
I love these little bottles because you can just throw it in your pocket. You know what I mean? Like you can just carry this around. It's so small, perfect. It's like 25 mil.
Yeah, I have 100 mil, which I can't find right now, but I also have a bunch of these.
They're great. These are great.
And these little ones here are a little bit denser to me. They're a little bit more herbal and have a little bit more base than the 100 mil that I have.
I love this, man.
Yeah, it's real good.
You know, the same perfumer that did Leonard Poron did Dunhill Blend 30.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
Huh.
Ron Winograd. I'm pretty sure it was Ron Winograd.
You are correct. Ron Winograd. He
Dude,
made
he's
himself a
one.
winner there.
He is one to watch out for. Anything that he's done has been a hit. Unfortunately, he only did like 5 things. He
Yeah,
did
he didn't do very much.
He did this Lagerfeld Classic,
right,
that we talked about. He did
right.
Furyo, which
Correct.
I absolutely love.
I do too. I have 2 bottles of that.
He did Leonard and he did Monsieur Leonard, which I've never smelled because that's like a fresher, more. I don't know.
have a mini.
Yeah,
I have a mini of the Monsieur. It's very good. I wasn't motivated to go get a full bottle though.
right. No, I think the big 3 are Lagerfeld Classic, Leonard Pour Homme, and Furyo. He also did this Roomba, which I got, and man, that's a challenging one. Do you have Roomba?
I don't.
Yeah, I would.
I know of it, and I believe Duncan sent me a decant of it a while back.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
it's a tough wear.
It is. It's so like floral, animalic, which you would think I would love, but man, those florals just hit me wrong for some reason.
Would you wear that as your scent of the day going outside the house?
Yeah, I'll wear anything, dude.
Yeah,
I'll wear anything. I have no shame when I wear stuff.
Yeah, I don't care either. There's very little that I won't wear out.
I used to care. Like I used to wear summer stuff for summer, winter stuff for winter, but then it got to the point where I was like denying myself stuff I wanted to wear. You know what I mean? Just because it wasn't the right season.
Yeah, I learned a valuable lesson. I have a friend of mine that lives in Israel, and a guy I used to work with, he got married and moved over there, and they wear the most challenging stuff all year round, and it's hot over there all year round.
Right.
And you know, I remember some of his brother-in-laws asking me, you know, what is this? You know, you don't wear. I told him, you know, they show me their collections, and I'd be like, oh yeah, that's fantastic. I was a little too hot for that. And he goes, what are you talking about? And ever since that stuck in my head. So in the summertime, like when I'm out on the riding mower, I'll wear an oud or like one of the heavier fragrances, and there's a whole nother scent profile that gets unlocked when you're out in the heat, and those dark fragrances come alive, man. And you're really doing yourself a disservice not wearing them in different temperatures and climates and stuff.
That's a very good point. Yeah, I noticed that when I wore Anubis, which I usually wear that in the winter. And then I was going to do that interview with Liz Moores of Papillon. So I wore it the day before to try to remind myself of it again. But it was like 105 degrees in Texas that day. And man, that thing just came alive in the heat. It was beautiful. Yep. And so,
I'll wear freshies in the winter. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just to see what they do in the winter, you know.
I always get a little disappointed though when I put on a freshie in the winter. I'm like, man, why did I do that? Because I like the heavier stuff, but no, I hear you.
Me too. I would say it's probably a 70-30 split of heavy to fresh in my collection.
All right, I got a couple more long lost gems.
What do you got?
Boss Spirit.
You got me on that one.
No, we stumped Jonathan.
I'll get you one of these days. It's on my radar. That guy on eBay has a bottle for I think $1.69. I'll grab it one of these days.
It's not bad.
It's a 50 ml for $1.69.
Yeah.
Good, huh? You say it's that good?
Dude, it's so like green and leathery. You know, Boss jumped out to one of the greatest like starts ever of all like perfume houses. They had Boss number 1. They had Sport, which was my favorite sport fragrance until Antea Sport just came and knocked it out of the park. There it is. Dude, that is a fantastic sport fragrance. Amazing.
Very, very good. I like this, and I like Lacoste Original.
Yeah.
Lacoste Original is underrated in my opinion.
Yeah. And then they came out with this in '89. So think about that start, man. That's 3 bangers. And then they Boss bottled like Ruined. the House of Boss. I think when they did Boss Bottled and it took off, I think it like stumped their creativity. You know?
Yeah. Well, oh, that's making money. Keep doing that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Flanker.
and that's a lot of houses too. I mean, look at Paco Rabanne.
I know.
Paco Rabanne's putting out all time stuff, and then 1 million hits and kiss your ass goodbye about getting a good fragrance out of Paco Rabanne.
It's like a gift and a curse, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Let's see. What else did I grab? Here we go. How about this bad boy?
Oh yeah, of course.
You love it?
Love it. Love it. I know Eugene doesn't like it, but
yeah, what's up with Eugene? Right. What's wrong with this Eugene guy? Dude, Eugene, I think Eugene got a bad bottle.
Yeah, or a bad nose, either way.
Oh, it's good stuff, right?
Yeah, it's very good. Like I'll say that it's not the best patchouli ever to have been made, and but it's pretty damn good. And I'll tell you what, if you don't have it, go get the women's version of this. It's fantastic.
That's right. I remember you telling me about that. Did I remember you say you prefer the women's version?
Just by a little.
Wow.
It's fuller. It's a little more complex than this. Same quality of patchouli and same quality of materials, but it's got more body. Yeah, the women's version is very good.
Does your cap click onto place?
Say again? Does
your cap click onto place?
Yeah.
I got the same problem your Roja cap has.
That's dirty. Yeah, there's and Aram makes fun of me, but like I'm a completist, like as far as presentation and stuff. And if something doesn't have the cap, like I've gotten over that because the collector in me wants the fragrance more than the cap.
Yeah.
But if given the choice, I prefer the cap, and nothing's worse than either not having a cap or having a janky cap.
Yes. All right, let's see. A couple more.
Oh, I got one for you.
This
just came in, and I told you that I'm a huge fan of flankers, right?
Yes.
I love weird, odd flankers. And let's see. This is not a lot of people like this, but I like this. Okay.
Yes, I have that. Wait, is that the original?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a big fan. This is Coco Rico.
Yeah.
And I love it. And not a lot of people do, but I do. And this just came in.
It's the flanker.
The flanker. Coco Rico by night.
I've heard of it. I've never smelled it. What's it? What's the note in there that isn't in the original?
I want to say rhubarb, or not rhubarb. There's something. I think rhubarb's in both of them, but there's something else in. This is still sealed. I haven't had a chance to open it yet.
I see that.
How kick ass is that?
Yep.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, love a good flanker, and
I'm
giving strong consideration to leaving it sealed. But
yeah,
let's see. I'll get overridden by my curiosity and.
Oh yeah, I mean, hell, the whole point of this is to wear it and enjoy it, right?
Right. And I go through phases. Of like wanting to preserve things and wanting to save things and wanting to, keep the collection pristine. But then I said to myself, what is the point?
What's the point?
No way. I don't know how many hundreds of bottles I have. Like at this point, I don't even know what it is. I mean, it's north of 600, I'm sure. But what's the point of having all this if you can't enjoy it?
That's it.
You're
right.
So I just turn that switch off and enjoy things liberally.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, I think. I mean, is it great to preserve stuff? Yes, but I mean, if you're not going to enjoy it, what's the point of having 5 bottles of something? You know what I mean? It's
And I don't have a lot of backups. I have maybe 10, 15 backups, but those are only for trade down the road. You know, if I ever run, like I said, if I ever run into something that I really want, I'll pull out one of these backups and dangle it for a trade, you know.
So you use them as currency. You don't actually back up the fragrance because you're worried about using it.
With this many fragrances, there's no way I'm ever going to use all of these at all. My nephew and his kids after them are still going to have this collection.
You got to put it in the testamentary will and trust.
Yeah, no kidding. I should get it insured, the freaking thing.
I actually got my collection insured, and you know what they want? They want receipts if anything gets like broken or stolen, or they're gonna want to see like what you paid for it. Like if the house gets destroyed in a hurricane or a tornado, they want to see the receipts.
Did they audit you?
No, they didn't even ask me what. They just said, okay, we'll insure it for whatever you paid for them if you can prove what you paid for it. I said, okay, fair deal. So I just have like snapshots of all my eBay buys, and I mean, who knows if it'll actually? I'm sure they'll get it.
You got your full collection insured?
Yep.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, I just have it on the house, but I mean,
you don't ever want to have to use it.
Exactly. But it'll be interesting to see if I ever actually try to use. Like if anything ever happens, like what kind of shit they would give me, you know what I mean? Like
how could you redeem that?
I mean, the stuff I bought new, it would be easier to find, but how do you get them to pay you, you know, $600 for a vintage one-off? Like insurance companies don't like that, you know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see.
And never mind the niche like market value of something crazy like the anti-sport cologne or Queer de Russie. Speaking of Queer de Russie, do you know of this Guerlain? Do you have the Guerlain?
No. I know of it, but I've never smelled it. Or bottles are going for 4 digits.
Dude, that's a unicorn's unicorn there.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't mind smelling that.
But, you know, when it came out in 1880, I think it was, there was a material that came out that same decade called quinoline that set all of that leather perfume like up. You know what I mean? Like if it wasn't for the discovery of quinoline, I don't think even Guerlain Queer de Russie would exist.
Interesting. When was it discontinued? It had to have been discontinued 100 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was like 90 or 80 years ago or something. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is. But hey, I mean, Rich got to smell it, so it's out there. Some people have some juice lying around.
Oh yeah. You ever see that guy's collection on Instagram? I always talk about him. His name is the Vintage Perfumist.
No, I need to subscribe to his channel.
Dude, check his page out. He's got like 600 posts, and it's all vintages, and more often than not, stuff you've never heard of. And he not only has the core fragrance, whatever it is, the EDT of whatever it is, but he's also got every single ancillary product that it was made for that particular fragrance.
Jesus.
Bath soaps and shampoos, body washes. He's even got like the padded samples that came in the little rip things. He's got the body wash, the shaving creams, and they're all in pristine condition. I've never seen anything like it. He's got multiple variations on things like Marbert and all of the different Leonards, and
that is insane. How much money you think you poured into that? Like $750,000 or what?
For a while I thought to myself, this guy's scouring the planet for all of these rare, and not only rare fragrances, but all their ancillary product. How rare must a shaving cream from a Marbert, flanker from who the hell?
Maybe he owns a shop.
And just recently it dawned on me that maybe this guy started collecting the stuff as it was coming out.
Yes.
So he went to his local drugstore in Europe somewhere and bought not only the Marbert, but all of its ancillary bath products.
And just set it aside.
And just stuck it in a closet somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, and we're thinking, wow, where could you possibly have found that? He probably bought that shit in a drugstore for $20.
Yeah.
His collection's probably worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Easily.
Dude, go look at his page. Write it down. Vintage Perfumist.
All right. I will. I'll go check it out. The Vintage Perfumist.
You'll spend a half an hour gobsmacked. It's really crazy.
Dude, it's crazy when you think about how many fragrances were out there, like from the past, you know what I mean? Like stuff we have never heard of, never smelled. Like I like to go on a kick and just click a note that I like castoreum, and just go look at all the fragrances that use castoreum. And once you get past like the first couple pages, the most popular ones, dude, it's shit you've never heard of.
I love getting like oddball, stupid stuff that probably only came out for a year and nobody's ever heard of it. Like I just got, what did I just get from Anuj? Have you ever heard of this? I've got the box too. Have you ever heard of this? Prince of Galles or Gales?
No, I don't think I have.
Look it up if you're at the computer.
I am.
It's nothing fantastic, but it's a classy little fragrance. I never heard of it, and I just took a chance on it, pulled the trigger, and I was like,
Prince de Galles Gold from 2000 or from 94?
No, this would be, I would imagine this is a 94. This is the Pour Homme.
Marcel Burr created it?
That's right.
Marcel Burr Pour Homme. Wait, there's a Prince de Galles. Prince de Galles only came out in a Pour Homme.
Yeah.
Yeah, 94. Pineapple. Hey, it's a precursor to Aventus. Bergamot grass, hazelnut, lavender, rhubarb, vanilla, lemon, mandarin orange. We've talked about a lot of rhubarb fragrances today.
I love rhubarb. I love rhubarb and plum and berries and dark fruits. That's my jam. I just got this in recently. I have most of this house, but oddly I never had the original. So I found this.
Yes.
It's a 200 mil.
Oh shit, dude! It looks like 100 mil in your hands.
Right. This is the 100 mil.
Okay. I didn't even know they make. Wait, no, it's 125 mil, right?
Or 125 mil. Sorry.
Yeah.
And this is the 200 mil. This is the damn it. Why am I not? I'm blanking out on it. This is Artisan Black.
I've never smelled that one.
I have the Artisan Pure, which is really good and everybody knows about it, but you never hear anybody talk about the Artisan Black. And while it's synthetic and it's John Barbados, it is what you think it is, but it's kind of a quirky little semi-sweet watermelon leather. It's very strange. I dig it.
Yeah. And guess what? It's got rhubarb.
Exactly. See what's happening?
Magic is happening.
Rhubarb is a big favorite note of mine.
I see that. Do you have the Guerlain Homme Intense?
Believe it or not, I don't have any of the Homme line.
So that has a pretty good rhubarb note in it, actually, I think, if I remember.
I'm gonna have to grab it. I
Um
have a lot of Guerlain, but not that line. No.
This is the old bottle, but I hear even the new stuff they did in the Listerine, they just changed it from like Homme Intense to just Guerlain Homme Eau de Parfum. So if you get that one, I think it has.
Is that the Mojito one?
Yes.
Yeah. I that's, you said if I follow a note. Yeah, I follow plum. I follow rhubarb, red berries, dark fruits, stuff like that. Like plum is probably more of a favorite for note than rhubarb for me.
Yeah. Do you have the poisons and the Rochas Fems and all that?
I have Rochas Femme. I don't have poison, but what's on my list is Hypnotic Poison. I prefer over the rest.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. It's something about it. I kind of just hits right for me. The Hypnotic Poison is the better of them, I think. That's just for me. No?
I grabbed this from a news long ago. It says Esprit de Parfum Poison, which is, I guess, long discontinued. It's a splash.
Oh, nice.
Amazing, like plum, like tuberose. This is tough for me to wear in public. Speaking of James.
Yeah.
Holy Jesus.
I don't know what I did with my Rochas Femme. It was sitting here recently, and now it's gone. Oh well, Rochas Femme is gone.
There's a lot of good plum fragrances for you to hunt down, though.
Oh yeah, I've got a lot of great plum fragrances. You want to? Here's probably one of my favorite plum fragrances. This is called Ombre Conjahar by Unui Nomad.
Okay, you stumped me there. I don't know that one.
It's so good, dude. It's like a smoked. It's like a smoked plum. Ombre KHANDJER. AR.
2019. That's a new one.
Yeah. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. If you like Rochas, you'll love
this.
I don't know how I found probably my lady probably turned me on to it. Yeah.
They said my mic sucks again. Is it back?
No, it's still choppy.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my mic. Maybe I need to get a mic like you. You'll have to teach me.
This is it's called the Elgato Wave 3. Joe Anthony kind of heard him talk about it, and I got it, and man, it's really nice. The quality sounds pretty good.
I'll have to check it out.
The little screen thing broke off, but whatever.
Houston, we have a problem. You broke your mic already?
Yeah, I broke the little screen. You know, the what do you call it? The little screen protector, the windscreen.
I just don't understand how it goes from good to bad to good again. It must be like a software thing. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's weird, right?
Ground control to Major Tom. Oh, what? You have the non-magnetic cap, you bastard.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's of all the stuff you've showed, that's the one that'll get me jealous.
Yeah, this is another goodie.
Oh yeah.
You can't beat this. You can't beat it. It's just so good.
Now, let me see your bottle, because mine actually says Overture on the sides, not on the front. So that's the newer version. Do you
possibly?
Do you I don't know if they've reformed any of those, but man, I got mine like right when it came out, and I love it. It's amazing.
Did it come out when they had the snap caps?
No, that came out way after that. That was like 2019 or something.
Okay. I don't know about reforms on this one, but this smells like it's certainly one of the best from the house. And
yeah,
it's definitely near the top of my favorites in my collection.
Yep. It's one of the best cognacs, I think. That and Roja's Creation E.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have Creation E. Oddly, I like that scent profile, and it's a good fragrance. I just don't have it.
Really? That's interesting. Are you gonna go for it?
Um, I don't know. I have other Rajas higher on the list.
Yeah.
So those golf would rank higher. The Taif and the Fortnum and Mason would rank higher. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, maybe Diaghilev would rank higher. So if someday down the road I can find a partial of Diaghilev, I'll go after that.
Yes,
Um,
I'm with you. An older partial would be awesome.
yeah, yeah. It's hard to come by those paper labels, and if you do, they know what they got, and you're gonna pay an arm and a leg.
Yeah. Well, if you find one, I'll split it with you. If you find one.
Yeah, for sure. Don't you have Diaghilev? I thought you had Diaghilev.
No, I do, but I only have
Oh, you're down to the nitty gritty, huh?
I've got about, let's see. I've got about that much left.
You got a decent amount there. You got about
Yeah.
40 mils.
Yeah, probably 30,
35.
35. Yeah, enough for me to continue to enjoy it, but I would totally love another partial.
I wonder if that housing comes off to where you could pour more in and then crimp it back.
Ooh, that would be a dangerous game.
Yeah.
I'd probably break the top off.
But I think I'd probably want the bottle too, wouldn't you?
We could flip a coin for it.
Flip a coin. You flip a coin, but the bottle pays more, obviously.
That's right. Whoever gets the ball. There are, I mean, I would love to find like a professional splitter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like someone that could split for you. Like if you ever watch Robes, you mentioned Robes early on, Mark's Robes 08. All of his early buys that he did, they were splits. Like he didn't pay full price for everything in his collection because you don't need 100 mils of everything. You know what I mean?
Ashton did the same thing. He built his collection on splitting. He built his collection on splitting fragrances and selling decants and buying partials and that dude.
Yeah.
Man, I would love to tour his collection.
Oh, dude, he probably has 5,000 fragrances.
Last I heard, he's got north of 2,000 for sure.
Yeah, easily.
Maybe by this point, maybe 2,500 fragrances.
Right. Especially because
Sebastian's fragrances, Sebastian's collection's even bigger. I heard.
Yeah, he's got to have one of the biggest collections on earth.
He's got 5,000-6,000 from what I
hear. Easily.
But that guy Hednick, I heard, has 10,000 plus. I don't know how true that is, but
who?
There's a guy named Hednick. He's he writes for Fragrantica. You see him all over Fragrantica or Base Notes or whatever, and he's kind of this mysterious character, and it's claimed that he has 10,000 plus bottles.
That's crazy.
You fucking imagine, dude.
I mean, you were talking about 600. Our collections are probably pretty close in size.
Yeah.
And like you said, it would take 4 or 5 lifetimes, I think, to go through all this stuff.
Yeah, it's silly. And as much as I say, like, I've got enough, maybe just a little few pieces here and there, but the halls keep coming. The halls keep coming.
Wesley asks, what are your top 3 autumnal fragrances, Jonathan? See, you already have fans, man. You'd probably have like 100 subs on day one.
That's awesome. I've been playing around making mock videos this past week, and I'm close to the only thing I need to have somebody walk me through pulling the video off of my computer and uploading it to YouTube and then post it or whatever. I don't even have any point of reference for that. Like I've just started to figure out how to record the videos, and I've got the light and the microphone. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just turn the camera on, talk for a half an hour, and see how much of my collection I can get in, and then I'll make the collection like a 5-part thing, a 5-part series.
Dude, honestly, when I do my videos, I have no clue what video I'm gonna do until that day. Like I just do whatever strikes me. Like I don't plan anything. I just do it. Like if I feel like doing a this year in perfume, I just came up with some like ideas of what I think would be cool to talk about. And then
Yeah.
just whatever suits my fancy that day, I do. I mean, I don't really plan stuff out. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Top 3 autumnal fragrances. Great question. Okay, so a recent purchase that has shot to the top of what I really enjoy. Well, forget about that one. This is one of my favorites. You know, it's linked to nostalgia and whatnot, but it is a killer fragrance, and it is Ombre Leather 16.
Oh, I've never smelled that.
It's a killer, dude. It's one of Tom Ford's best, in my opinion.
I've smelled ombre leather, but never the 16. Are there differences?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know. That's the only ombre leather I'm familiar with. I just flashed this a little while ago, so I'll say this.
For all intents?
Yeah, for autumnal fragrance. And maybe there's let's do a three-way tie. Let me see. All right, we're gonna do a three-way tie because I can't decide. This is Michael.
Yeah, there's one no one talks about.
And it's just Aaron turned me onto this a while back, and it's fantastic.
It is. I've got a bottle.
Dark fruits. And I flashed this a little while ago. I would go Tom Ford Extreme.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and it really anything from this house. I'm a huge fan of this house, as you know. And 1740.
Yeah, that's a great leather.
Yeah,
that's probably their best fragrance.
It's one of their best. I'm a big fan of Ultramarine and Prolixa.
I don't think I've smelled those.
No?
No.
You never smelled Prolixa?
Nope. I've got a sample of Irreverent, I think it's called.
Yeah, Irreverent's supposed to be pretty good.
I'm going to do a video on that soon.
You know, I like this one.
Which one's that? Rare Fidelis?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah. Have you given any thought about that Rare Petroleum? I still want that.
Maybe. I've got it right here.
You still don't like it? Has it grown on you yet?
No.
No, huh?
No, I don't like
Rare Petroleum. What don't you like about it?
I don't know, man. There's just something about the like civet oud thing that's just weird. It's very off-putting. Maybe it's the ambergris and oud and civet. I don't know. But if you're comparing these two and you've got Rare Petroleum, I would take this Rare Amber Rem any day of the week. I love this stuff.
Yeah, you got yourself a rare one there, buddy. I went down the rabbit hole the other day looking for it, and I'm like, fuck Ramsey.
It's impossible, dude. You know where I got it from? Israel.
No shit.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a seller on eBay out of Israel.
Yep, I got it on eBay out of Israel, and you know why I found it? He misspelled it.
Nice.
So I went searching. Like Simon taught me that trick. He's like, look for like just one misspelled letter, like a common misspelling, and bam,
Duncan taught me that.
Duncan
taught me that. He misspells stuff all the time. Yeah. The how is that seller out of Israel?
Fine. It came fine. I mean, everything I got the gem I've been hunting for years. So yeah, I might.
Did it take a long time?
Nah, a couple weeks.
That's not bad.
No. Rare Petroleum though, I want to do a video on it first, and then I might take you up. Maybe I'll trade you for a rare backup.
We'll see.
I
got a backup Louis if you want it.
All right, we'll talk about it.
What else?
Man, we've been on for 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah, you wanna call it?
I mean, it doesn't seem like we've been on for 2 hours and 20 minutes, but
No,
yeah.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't.
You guys will be in the top 0.5 surely. Yeah, I agree with Manly Sense. He says it's great to see you on the stream. You have a great voice and gift of gab and all this good stuff. So
Keith's good people, man. I've gotten a few fruit fragrances off. I've chatted with him for the last couple of months. He's a good dude.
He is. He's great. He saved me on which one was it that I wanted and I could not find? Was it Wild Porom? I think it might have been Wild.
Yeah. Right. I think he still has some of those. I've gotten quite a few things off of him. I think I actually have something from him coming as we speak.
Nice.
Yeah. Don't ask me what it is, but I think I got 2 bottles off of him coming.
Speaking of people who store their bottles in pristine condition, dude, I've never received a bottle with such perfect lines on the box. Everything seems like he never even touched it. You know what I mean? Like he just set it aside.
Oh, Keith? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
he takes care of his stuff, man.
Yeah.
I got what did I get from him recently? I got this. Have you ever heard of this? Ettore Bugatti.
I've heard of it, but I've never smelled it.
It's really good, dude. Look up the notes.
Is it for women?
No, it's for men. It's
okay.
Eau de Toilette. I could be wrong, but I'm 95% sure it's
Ettore Bugatti Eau de Toilette. Yeah, it's for men. Yeah. 92 citrusy woody. There's a Russian leather. There's a Russian leather in the base of that.
It's very good. He's got it on his site. Go get a bottle. It's really good.
All right.
In fact, I might go after a larger bottle because this is a splash and I've already blown through like a third of it.
Do you decant your splashes or do you? Yeah. Yes, that's right. He did send me a decant. He's exactly right. There is a decant around here somewhere.
Yeah, he sent me a decant a while back and I was like, dude, give me a bottle of that.
Those are the best buys.
Yeah. I do decant. I decant. Duncan sent me a bunch of these brown decanters a while back. Right. So I put all of my banger stuff in there, like Gucci Porom is a splash. Plus I have Azzaro, Kenzo. I've got the Lanchetti Uomo in here.
How big are those decants? Are those like 30 mils?
Yeah, these are 30 mils, but I don't put a whole. I put like this much in, you know.
Yeah. And you're worried about evaporation in those decants, right?
Right. And I don't want to, I put in enough that I think I might use over the next few months or so, and I just got a whole stockpile of these decants, which are really cool. I want to say they're 25 mil.
Wow.
They look like they might be 30 mil, but they're kind of nice, right?
I've never seen those. That would be tougher to carry around.
Yeah, well, I don't care about carrying them around. It's just, you don't
carry them? I usually use these 10 mils.
No, well, yeah, something like that I might, but no, these have really good atomizers on them.
Yeah.
And the heavy glass base. And I got about 2, 4, 6, 8, about 10 of them.
So glass is the most important though, because if you get plastic, it can change the smell of the fragrance over the months and months and years of sitting there.
Yeah, that's right. That's why most of my stuff is in glass decants. Look at that. Like, there's a little something you like.
Which one's that?
I don't know if you can see it. Majalis.
No.
Or no, sorry. This is.
Is that a barrage? What is that?
A barrage. Yeah.
Yes. So I still am dying to smell. You got that full bottle of Boz, right? Show us that bad boy. That'll be a great party gift. Show us that Abrage.
Here comes the pain.
All right, here comes the big boys.
All right, so
Jesus, look at that thing.
look at the size of this box, dude.
Dude.
Look at it. Look at the detail on it.
Yeah, dude, that's sick packaging.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you always make a joke about the ostrich box, and it opens like this, and there's this, like, you know,
I can tell
quality material. I don't know. It's like a foam velvet. I don't know, dude. It's sick.
Like a soft closed door on a freaking Rolls Royce.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. And so then it opens up like this.
Jesus, is that a mirror? What is that in there?
Hold on.
Dude, where the hell is the atomizer?
This
How do you spray that thing? Does it have like a battery that powers that atomizer or what?
Yeah, right. It's killer, dude. Oh man, it's luxury times 10 to the 10th power. It's so good, dude.
Is it worth the $700 at discounters?
Well, it's certainly better than the $1,200 they're asking for it, or whatever it is.
Yeah, $1,400.
1,400. I think I don't know that it was 700. I think this was like 590.
Okay.
I could be wrong. Maybe it was
the new ones are close. The new prices now, because I've been constantly watching them, and they're close. They're like 680, 690 now.
Listen to this. Cap is almost as much as the bottom.
That is the crazy. Is that a magnetic cap?
Hell yeah.
Wow.
It's nice,
That's
dude.
insane, dude. That is the craziest bottle.
And it's a strong magnet too.
Right. It's like Eugene's fragrances has a damn good magnet on it.
You were talking about like this being a special fragrance. This would be like maybe like a Christmas or a New Year's fragrance. Yeah.
Well, hell, you've got 100 mils, dude. Wear the piss out of that thing.
Yeah, it's real good. I'm gonna wear it soon. It's been getting chilly here in Tennessee, so soon enough. I might bring a decant with me back to Chicago when I go back there next month.
Dude, even Anuj is impressed by that bottle. He's seen all the bottles.
Yeah, Boz is special, man. Boz is special. I mean, I've got my eye on the oud. I've found the oud at a semi-reasonable price, and I've got a discount code and saving my pennies. We'll see.
Yeah, the oud is good.
The oud is very good. I think it's one of the better from the house.
Yeah.
You know, I like Majalis, and I like Fakama, and you know, I like Haiba too. Haiba is a really good patchouli, by the way.
I haven't smelled anything from the second collection, only the first.
Haiba is really good. Remind me if we trade some decants, and I'll throw that Haiba in for you to try.
Cool.
I still have a fair amount in that decant.
Yeah, man, that would be cool. Well, 2.5 hours. Hell, I think we made a pretty good video for folks to consume. I think they'll enjoy it. I mean, we've been sitting around 50 people, 40 to 60 people just watching us kick the shit on fragrances for 2.5 hours. So, I mean,
that's nice. I'm flattered.
I'm glad to have you, man. The
it's
chat,
a real pleasure.
Thanks for coming on. I'm glad we'll have to do this again sometime. Once you get your channel up and running, have me on. Once you figure out all the technology.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll get into it and figure out how to upload and how to stream and all that good stuff, and we'll have more conversations for sure.
It's good stuff, man.
It's been a real pleasure. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody in the chat.
Thanks, brother. Thanks to the chat. All right, bye, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Cheers.